My name is Emery, and I'm 31 years old. From the very beginning, my intellect was questioned, dismissed, and mocked, not for any lack of knowledge, but because I dared to rise beyond the expectations of those who judged me before they truly knew me. Damien's family, wealthy, imposing, and suffocating in their arrogance, had made it abundantly clear I was uneducated, unsophisticated, and not worthy of their attention. Their words weren't just casual remarks, they were judgments designed to belittle me, to make me feel small, to ensure I never dared to dream bigger than what they deemed acceptable. When Damien introduced me to them, I could feel the condescension in every handshake, every glance, every phrase they muttered under their breaths. "She seems nice, for someone like her." "Oh, Emery? That's an unusual name. I assume she's practical, perhaps?" Their polite smiles masked a world of disdain. I remember the first family dinner vividly. While everyone discussed stock portfolios, foreign travel, and university affiliations, I sat quietly, letting their words roll off me like rain. But inside, a fire was building, a burning determination that I would one day turn their mockery into my opportunity. They didn't just dismiss me, they laughed at my ambitions. While I spoke about my plans to continue education, build a scholarship fund, and invest in sustainable initiatives, they scoffed. "Oh, Emery, that's cute, but you really should focus on things that matter to us," Damien's uncle whispered, with a smirk of superiority. Every laugh, every patronizing comment, every sideways glance was logged in my memory, meticulously catalogued. These weren't just insults, they were my roadmap, my blueprint for transformation. I threw myself into my studies like a woman possessed. Night after night, I immersed myself in research, books, lectures, and international case studies. My academic journey was rigorous, exhausting, and relentless. I earned every scholarship I applied for, every recognition I received, and every degree I achieved, not just for myself, but to create a legacy that would one day leave them speechless. While they judged, I prepared, while they laughed, I strategized. My career began modestly, as many do. I started tutoring, advising, and eventually building a consultancy that focused on financial literacy and educational empowerment. Each small success was quietly celebrated, each milestone a silent victory against the family who had dared to undermine me. I was uneducated in their eyes, yes, but in reality, I was becoming a scholar, a strategist, a woman capable of commanding influence, guiding investment, and shaping futures, including theirs. Then came the breakthrough. A financial project emerged in the city where Damien's family held significant investments. Their legacy corporation was struggling, facing regulatory scrutiny and investment mismanagement. Their advisors were failing, decisions were faltering, and the entire operation teetered on collapse. Without any hesitation, I positioned myself as the solution. I offered expertise, strategy, and insight far beyond what they could imagine. The irony was intoxicating. The woman they labeled uneducated, the girl they mocked for her lack of pedigree, was now the only person capable of stabilizing their empire. Damien's parents were stunned when I walked into the boardroom. My presence, calm and authoritative, commanded attention. "Emery," his father said, his voice barely hiding astonishment, you're exactly the person who can guide us?" I smiled softly. "Exactly. And I prepared a plan to not just stabilize, but expand your operations in a way that ensures long-term sustainability." Their disbelief was delicious, an intoxicating confirmation that my years of dedication, hard work, and silent ambition had not gone unnoticed. The months that followed were intense. I orchestrated investment strategies, negotiated international partnerships, and secured contracts that positioned Damien's family back on top of their financial game. Every meeting, every report, every strategic decision was a testament to my intelligence, diligence, and foresight. I wasn't just correcting their mistakes, I was elevating their empire with the precision of someone they had once deemed incapable. Meanwhile, Damien watched silently, his initial smugness fading into unease. The girl he had dismissed, the one he had believed was uneducated and naive, was now indispensable. His family, who had once laughed at me, now relied on me entirely. I was no longer a peripheral figure, I was the cornerstone of their operations, the one guiding their future. The pivotal moment came during a board review. I presented a comprehensive report detailing risk management strategies, revenue forecasts, and educational programs for the company's community initiatives. As I spoke, I saw the subtle shift in their demeanor, respect replacing mockery, attention replacing dismissal, gratitude replacing derision. When I finished, Damien's father, once cold and judgmental, extended a hand. Emery. I admit, I underestimated you. Your intellect, your strategy, it's remarkable. I shook his hand gently, my smile courteous, but my eyes reflecting years of silent victory. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. My success was my statement. The family who had once labeled me uneducated now depended on me. I had flipped the power dynamic entirely. The empire they assumed they controlled was now shaped and guided by my decisions, my vision, my intellect. Every investment, every contract, every educational initiative they undertook was a direct result of my work, and I ensured it remained that way. Damien's attempts to reclaim authority were subtle but futile. He tried to influence decisions, to assert control, but every time, I presented evidence, strategy, and expertise that made it impossible for him to dominate. He had chosen to dismiss me, to mock me, to favor another. And now, he watched helplessly as the woman he undervalued became the very force holding his family's future intact. The ultimate triumph came when I established a scholarship fund in my own name, dedicated to empowering young women who had been underestimated, dismissed, or belittled by society. I funded the fund entirely, using my resources, my strategy, and my foresight. Damien's family was astonished. They realized that the uneducated girl they had mocked was now shaping not only their empire but the futures of countless others. In private moments, Damien admitted defeat without saying a word. The looks, the silences, the subtle acknowledgement in meetings, they spoke volumes. He had believed he could define me, diminish me, and control my trajectory. Instead, I had rewritten the rules, redefined success, and ensured that my intellect and determination became the foundation of the very empire he once dominated. Now, when I walk through the halls of the offices I helped rebuild, I feel an undeniable satisfaction. The family who once mocked me now relies on me entirely. The young women inspired by my scholarship program see my story as proof that intelligence, resilience, and ambition can overcome any prejudice, any dismissal, any obstacle. I am Emery. I am the scholar, the strategist, the visionary. I am proof that the ones who call you uneducated often give you the exact challenge you need to rise. And in the quiet power of my triumph, I watch them, silently, respectfully, and undeniably aware that their past underestimation built the empire I now control. And in that control, I find the sweetest victory, the knowledge that the girl they doubted now funds their future, shapes their decisions, and stands at the pinnacle of every choice they once thought they owned.